Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. A seminar in the Wilaya of Tamrid discusses water resources and agricultural development in Al-Najd area. And Algeria's caretaker rulers face unrelenting demands for wider change after Bouteflika quits. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Macky Sall of Senegal on his country's National Day. A seminar entitled Water Condition and Agriculture Development in the Najd area was held in the Wilaya of Tamrit in the Governorate of Dhofar. The seminar aimed to spread awareness on the significance of preserving the agriculture and water sectors in the Najd area, as well as monitoring the water resources and their management in addition to limit violations. It also discussed the achievement of balance between water uses and renewable resources. The farms in the Najd area are under the attentions of the bodies concerned as to develop the national economy and contribute in the food security aspects. The agricultural production in the past few years recorded around 100,000 tons in various crops planted on an area of 240,000 acres. Under the auspices of the Honorable Yuther Al-Rawahi and in the presence of Her Highness Sayyida Dr. Muna bint Fahd Al Said and Her Royal Highness Princess Diana Mirad of Jordan and His Excellency Dr. Wahid Al Kharousi, Oman Cancer Association President, the Leadership in an Action for the Middle East and North Africa region hosted by Oman Cancer Association concluded today. More details on the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai.
Leaders in the field of cancer control from the MENA region in their three-day Leadership in Action workshop organized by the Oman Cancer Association in collaboration with the Union for International Cancer Control have had successful sessions that facilitated meeting their mission through renowned experts in the field who together have generated discussions that have addressed issues and challenges of relevance to them and to their own local settings.
I'm very proud that such an important event is taking place in Muscat, which is a leadership workshop organized by UICC. Of course, seeing so many people from different countries is extremely important to us, 21 countries present today. And like I said, it happens because of a joint effort and networking between all the different partners. And I really look forward to see everybody at the Congress and Summit 2020 in Oman, inshallah.
This is the first time I'm attending high-level leadership course, which comprise of individual leadership and institutional leadership, organized by UICC in collaboration with the Oman Cancer Society. And since morning we have had very good lectures from highly experienced and eminent professors in management, and it has been quite wonderful. We have learned quite a lot. There are a lot of things which we are trying to overlook them during our practice at home as leaders, but the work has made us to realize our gaps.
The workshop was designed in two parts, where the first one concentrated on developing personal leadership skills, and the second one focused on institutional leadership collaboration. The Oman Cancer Association and the UICC has reached many leaders in the fields of cancer from different parts of the world with the Leadership in Action program. There's an active participation from countries such as USA, Germany, Jordan, Egypt, Iraq, Tanzania, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Switzerland, Spain, Turkey, Lebanon, Palestine, Afghanistan, and Oman. It's worth mentioning that Oman will host the Union International for Cancer Control 2020 World Cancer Congress and the World Cancer Leaders Summit in October 2020. It is the first time that the World Cancer Congress is coming to the Middle East. The Oman Cancer Association and the Oman National Cancer Center at the Royal Hospital won the bid with joint efforts by Oman Convention and Exhibition Center, Oman Convention Board at the Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Health and Ministry of Social Development. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Algeria's caretaker government faces the prospect of unrelenting popular demands for the removal of the sclerotic ruling elite and wholesale reforms after ailing 82-year-old President Abdelaziz Bouteflika quit in the face of mass protests. Bouteflika ended 20 years in power on Tuesday after a final nudge by the military following 6 weeks of protests calling for democratic reforms after almost 60 years of monolithic rule by veterans of the 1954-62 independence war against France. That leaves Algeria extraordinary in the hands of caretaker government until elections in 3 months and with no successor in sight. Algeria's streets were quiet today, but the next test for the interim rulers looms on Friday, the day of the weekly mass marches since February 22nd. The North African country has almost no foreign debt burden, but it has hard currency reserves have half to 70 billion US dollars since 2014 due to a slide in volatile oil and gas prices. An Israeli shot and killed a Palestinian who he said tried to attack him with a knife near the West Bank city of Nablus. A Nablus hospital said another Palestinian was moderately wounded in today's shooting. The Israeli military said an Israeli civilian shot Palestinian who attempted to carry out a stabbing, and the Palestinian later died of his wounds. The Israeli man said the Palestinian jumped on the car with a knife and tried to open the door. Since 2015, Palestinians have killed over 50 Israelis in West Bank stabbings, shootings, and car ramming attacks. Israeli forces have killed over 260 Palestinians in the same period. Israel said most were attackers, but clashes between protesters and soldiers have also turned deadly. Iranian emergency services were bracing for a widespread flooding with mass evacuation planned as extensive rainfalls in the region neighboring Kazakhstan coverage on the oil-rich southwestern province. Kazakhstan has an extensive range of dams, but officials said water was flowing into them at a fast rate. Water was released from dams as an emergency measure to prevent them from breaking, leading to fears of the overflow might cause havoc in cities, towns, and villages downstream. The northeast of Iran was swamped on March 19th before the west and southwest of the country were inundated on March 25th, killing a total of 45 people. The main rail links between Tehran and the south and north of the country was disrupted as landslides and water swept away tracks. The government said the flooding had damaged nearly 12,000 kilometers of roads, or 36% of the country's entire network. Flooding has hit several areas in the Kurdistan region of Iraq as a result of ongoing heavy rainfall. Several buildings, tourist resorts, and farms were hit by the floods in the town of Taktak, 90 kilometers southeast of Erbil, the capital city of Iraqi Kurdistan. Municipality workers were deployed today to take preventive measures against the flooding, including clearing of the roads and opening up channel pipes to release the excess water. The director of the Kurdistan region's meteorology department said that the rainfall this winter had been the highest in 30 years. The Iraqi Interior Ministry yesterday declared a state of emergency in 6 Iraqi governorates due to the floods. Efforts to vaccinate nearly 900,000 survivors of Cyclone Idai against cholera began in earnest today as huge queues formed in the Mozambique city of Beira. Bears Mir Davis Simango was among those who swallowed the oral vaccine. The Indian Ocean port city is where most of more than 1,400 cases of cholera have been reported since the outbreak was declared a week ago. Mozambican authorities have reported 2 deaths so far from the acute diarrheal disease, which can kill within hours if not properly treated. More than 100,000 survivors of Cyclone Idai are still living in displacement camps with little access to clean water for sanitation, and the World Health Organization has warned of a second disaster if waterborne diseases such as cholera and malaria spread. The overall death toll from the cyclone is now 598 in Mozambique, with more than 300 deaths in the neighboring Zimbabwe and Malawi. A pair of giant pandas in Chengdu, Sichuan province in the southwest China will leave for Denmark tomorrow. CCTV footage shows male panda Xing born in 2013 and female panda Mao born in 2014 playing at Chengdu Research Base of Giant Panda, breeding where they received through physical health checkups. Both pandas underwent a 30-day quarantine and are in good health. The transfer is a part of an agreement between China and Denmark for a 15-year joint research on the giant panda signed in May 2017. Still to come on News Bulletin. The first Foreign Communities Tourism Forum in the Governorate of Buremi sheds light on the heritage and culture of the participating countries.
Why is competition good for businesses? Businesses compete in things like price, quality, and service to win new customers who could be other businesses as well as consumers. Being competitive can mean more customers choose you rather than your rivals. But when businesses collude and don't compete, this can lower down the quality and service, and the consumers paying more than they should. This is an unlawful practice and can stop consumers from getting more options on goods and services with better quality and better prices. That's why the Competition Protection and Monopoly Prevention Law was issued to regulate the freedom of practicing any economic activities and stabilize the principles of the market rules and freedom of pricing in such manner that the same shall not restrict competition, prevent the same, or be negatively affected, thereby to benefit consumers, businesses, and the national economy. Breaching any of the law's clauses could lead to prison sentences and fines up to 100,000 Omani Riyals. The punishment can also include paying 10% of the total annual sales of the products subject of the violation, as well as damage to the business's reputation. Help us in preventing anti-competitive activities by contacting the following numbers. And to know more about the law and the prohibited activities, please visit our website www.cmc.om. Competition Protection and Monopoly Prevention Center.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Since its first participation in the International Expo exhibitions, the Sultanate had achieved a noticeable presence and success. With the advent of the start of Expo 2020 in the Emirate of Dubai, the Sultanate is preparing for outstanding participation in this edition. An orientation meeting was organized at Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry branch in the Governorate of Musandam to shed light on the exhibition and the Sultanate's participation in the exhibition. It aimed to acquaint the participants with the opportunities Expo Dubai 2020 will offer to promote the advantages of the Sultanate and its tourism and investment potentials. The first Foreign Communities Tourism Forum was organized in the Governorate of Buraimi. It was held in Al Khandak Castle. A number of expatriate communities residing in the Governorate took part in the event. It included various activities that showcased the heritage and cultures of the participating countries, such as traditional food, customs, and arts. Omani handicraft products were also showcased in the gathering. The event was an opportunity to strengthen relations and friendship between Omani people and the people of the participating countries. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. A seminar in the Wilaya of Tamrid discusses water resources and agricultural development in the Najd area. And Algeria's caretaker ruler face unrelenting demands for wider change after Bouteflika quits. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and have a great night.